Imagine waking up at 6:30 every morning to a probation officer aggressively hitting your door cell to wake you up just to brush your teeth with a toothbrush the size of your thumb. After brushing your teeth, you are given 2 new clean sheets to make your bunk bed, which is in reality just a slice of memory foam on top of a concrete slab. Just imagine waking up to this routine every single day for nearly 3 months over a dumb decision you decided to do. Let me open a window up of my impulsive decision-making past that held me in San Bernardino Juvenile Hall Detention Center for nearly 3 months on 3 different charges, almost giving me 4 years in total. I got in an altercation in high school that really escalated quickly, and because of the dumb decision to carry a pocket knife with me, put me in juvenile hall for 3 months, and were trying to sentence me for 2 years in juvenile hall until I turned 18, and then send me to a federal prison or county for another 2 years, in a total of 4 years of these 3 charges. The 3 charges were assault with a deadly weapon, attempted murder, and disturbance of the public, or something like that, something odd. Like weird. But those 3 charges did affect me, and I was stuck in a cell for 3 months. My mom was devastated, my family was devastated. It is just something I don't recommend to anybody to go through over a dumb decision. The topic about juveniles should not be tried as adults because their brain is not fully developed and also run a greater risk in an adult prison of abuse. Now there's a thin line between this argument, should juveniles be tried as adults or not? Well, I will most likely get answers like, it depends, maybe it's all up to the judge, or it's just simply each case. Well, 2 main problems in trying juveniles as adults are that 1, juveniles are not adults, therefore their minds are really vulnerable and would make decisions impulsively, or because my friend did it, or because it's cool or it's trending. But in reality, it's not the right thing to do. According to the New York Times in 2005, the Supreme Court banned the death penalty for juvenile offenders because people under 18 are immature, irresponsible, susceptible to peer pressure, and often capable of change. Teens are very impulsive and act out in the moment, but regret it after time passes. They don't instantly think about the outcomes of their actions or the consequences that they'll get from their actions. As well as juveniles being immature and irresponsible, a juvenile is not built to survive in prison. An adult prison has very destructive effects on juvenile offenders. New York Times also states that because of juvenile's identity is still developing, he or she can potentially adopt negative behaviors that are the norm in a hostile prison environment. The fear of being victimized or assaulted precedes a need for security, in which leads many young prisoners to rely on gangs or weapons for survival. Even I was stuck in juvenile hall, and you would see teen inmates fight, try to stab each other with pencils over a cup of pudding. So now imagine in an actual prison cell or in a county, what they're going to be fighting for. You have to have a couple of people to help you, because it's a lot, and then there's always race, gangs, and all this. There's a lot of stuff that comes in that. There are plenty of reasons why juveniles are impulsive decision makers or immature, responsible, but the most obvious is that they're simply kids. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have the fully developed brain and knowledge capacity that an adult has. Juveniles are more prone to violence during their teens, but they eventually grow out of it. Also, being thrown in a cell with a grown-ass guy as a 15-year-old or 16-year-old is kind of concerning. You can have an inmate homeboy that is 30 to 40 years old. He can either rape you, beat you up, or try to do something to you. Another concern is that youth placed in adult systems has 34% more rearrest, and often at faster rates, more dangerous levels stated by the New York Times. Some solutions to these problems of trying juveniles as adults are pretty obvious, you might think, but in reality, it's not that simple. We can all agree that the simplest way of this problem is for kids to stop committing dumb crimes. But what about those that are already in juvenile hall, waiting for their next court hearing or to get transferred to an actual county or federal prison? One great solution, in my opinion, to create acts or waivers for these young offenders They need to be taught a lesson and given guides to the right direction, not just thrown in a cage with 30 or 40-year-old guys to learn their lesson. My second and last result is to have programs in these juvenile hall detention centers to teach these kids and the future generations that crime is not okay, and being in a cell for years and it's just a waste of time and it's really not cool. In conclusion, juveniles should not be tried as adults because there aren't adults. They're impulsive, immature, irresponsible, and due to them not having a fully developed brain, they will commit dumb and impulsive decisions, but their poor decision making should not be treated as adults. Today I introduce to you a topic that has a big history of my past, why juveniles should not be tried as adults, these problems of not having a fully developed brain and a possible risk of being placed into the adult system, the causes that make juveniles impulsive, and the specific risks that they are given in adult systems. And two solutions to these problems is they need help to a better path instead of just destroying their path. Thank you.